Ken. So the weather is shaping up at this point, and starting tomorrow, there'll be new rules for boats and people who are looking to have some fun on the Willamette River.
Yes, joining us live to talk about those changes is Portland Fire and Rescue Harbor Master Sean Whalen. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. So what are some of, the biggest changes this season? Because it sounds like there are quite a few.
Yeah, so there's three main changes, and they do start tomorrow. The first and biggest, well, not the biggest change, the first change is there's going to be a pass-through zone that's in effect basically May 1st through September 30th. So during the winter, this pass-through zone won't be in effect. It'll be regular rules. And from the Hawthorne Bridge upriver to Waverly Marina, which is the first, well, it's the second marina past the Selwood Bridge. It's a pass-through zone. And basically what that means is that you can go full speed through that zone, or you can go slow, no wake, but there's no plane in that area. There's no poling water skiers, tubers, wake surfers, anything like that in this area. And the goal of that's to reduce congestion in that area and allow boaters to easily pass. The Willamette Dock is a popular boat launch in that area, and it allows people to put in right there and then get to where they want to go with less congestion and be able to go full speed, but not to make large wakes, hopefully. The second rule, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You keep going.
Okay, the second rule is an extension of the slow no wake zone. This is in effect year round, and that's on the Holgate Channel, which is on the east side of Ross Island. There's been for several decades now a slow no wake zone that starts at the south end, the upriver side, and heads north up to the Ross Island Lagoon. That's been slow no wake for a long time. And they're extending that to be the entire length of the Holgate Channel. So it'll basically go from the southern tip of Ross Island to the northern tip of Ross Island. But also be aware, if you're heading north, downriver, once you get to that tip of Ross Island, you now are still in a pass-through zone. So you're allowed to go full speed at that point, but you're still not allowed to pull a wakeboarder, skier, tuber until you get to the Hawthorne Bridge. And then if you're heading south through the Holgate Channel, you're also in the pass-through zone until you get past Waverly Marina, just south of the Selwood Bridge. And then the third change in rules, and this is probably the largest one, it goes from Waverly Marina, so the end of the pass-through zone, all the way upriver to Willamette Falls, which at this point we're primarily outside of Portland. We're still in Multnomah County for most of it. And this is restrictions on towed water sports. So within 100 feet of any dock or in-water structure in this area, you're not allowed to, you're at a slow no wake zone. Outside of 100 feet, you're allowed to pull water skiers. And then outside of 200 feet, you're allowed to pull wakeboarders and towables, tubes and whatnot. And then in this area, there's no wake surfing at all allowed. So again, basically from the Hawthorne Bridge all the way to the falls, no wake surfing. And then the area where there's essentially the same rules there always has been is from the Hawthorne Bridge down to the Columbia River, which is about a 13-mile stretch of the river. And those are the same rules that have always applied.
So what are some of the penalties that people might encounter if they're not following the rules here?
Okay, so last week I made a video with the Multnomah County Sheriff and Oregon State Marine Board representative, and so I can't speak directly for the sheriff. They're the ones involved with the actual enforcement, and I honestly am not aware of the exact dollar amounts. I do know we're focusing heavily on education, which is part of the reason we made the safety and education video last week, which is on our website and the Marine Board website, and soon to be on the River Patrol website. But what I do know is, so again, first education, there's also going to be signage up at all the boat launches of all these rules, and there's a lot of information on the Marine Board website. If and when education don't work, or they see primarily what he mentioned in the video, is they're going to be looking at the proximity rules, so how close you are to the docks. And that does include, and these are old rules, proximity to other boats, swimmers, kayakers or whatnot. There are already rules in place for how close you can go to those types of things, and violations in the pass-through zone. And that would primarily be actually, pull-on skiers and whatnot. Again, I'm not actually sure what the actual violation fees are, though, if they cite you for that.
Well, we will look that up. I know there were some business owners upset about this, and we have articles on that as well. So we'll put that all on coin.com. Sean Whalen from Portland Fire and Rescue Harbor Master, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Let's get over to Carla Canelli because we know there are some backups going on right now.
A serious crash right now.